Pluviculture, or the creation of rain by artificial means, has long intrigued mankind. In the 19th century, it excited Western imaginations and brought forth hundreds of rainmaking schemes for private and public consideration. Some of these suggestions came from crackpots, some from sincere but ignorant persons who clung tenaciously to utterly hopeless beliefs, some seriously proposed by scientists as solutions to drought. Survival has long demanded an intricate relationship with and understanding of the rain, nowhere more so than video games. Take for example today's recommendation, the PlayStation 3 title Rain, available once more through the upcoming PlayStation Premium package. Here's the setup. A feverish young boy spies the rainy outline of a girl fleeing a monster and follows her into an alternate, sleeping version of their European town, where he too becomes only visible in the rain. To find her, he must hide from the monster undercover or distract them with noise, and solve puzzles that require moving obstacles or finding keys. It's a pluviophile's wet dream, but I'm not recommending Rain for its story or gameplay. Rain's worth 3 hours of your precious time because it's something of a time capsule. See, Rain released in 2013, a year after indie darling Journey, which did two things simultaneously. One, it managed to convert a lot of churlish non-believers that video games had artistic merit, and two, in doing so, it legitimized a lot of games critics' careers as on par with those of film and literature. Produced through Sony Japan's Creator Audition Mashup Project, or CAMP, which aimed to pair outsiders to the gaming industry with seasoned game developers, Rain encapsulated the moment when everybody from companies like Sony to games journalists, emboldened by the mainstream legitimacy conferred upon gaming as a hobby by the Nintendo Wii and DS's success, were keen to reframe video games as worthy of serious cultural discussion. Thus, among the myriad games that Sony Japan's CAMP studio developed was an imitation of Fumita Ueda's PlayStation 2 adventure Ico, sharing with that game a sense of constant vulnerability and a central relationship between a boy and a girl thrust together in an unforgiving world. The controls are simple, just one analog stick to move and buttons to jump, run and interact with objects. The camera is automatic, always centering on the protagonist, suggesting his whereabouts to you, even when invisible. Indeed, part of the game's early pleasures is deciphering how the environment broadcasts your location, be it muddy footprints appearing after walking through dirty puddles, posters rustling as you hurry past, or stacked cans to knock over. The world you saunter through is one of gloomy tenements, abandoned factories, and midnight circuses, strewn with rubbish for you to probe invisibly through. This is a sodden dystopia, haunted by a menagerie of vague and formless animals, corralled by an enigmatic circus master known only as the Unknown. It's simplified by design. It strives to evoke the rampant and self-sabotaging imagination of a child afraid of getting lost in their local neighbourhood. But this trepidation is interlaced with curiosity. During Rain's early stages, the girl is seen in snatched moments, but never encountered until the boy puts himself in harm's way to distract her pursuer. This wordless innocence between the two characters is what inevitably conjures Ico, but Rain has its own identity, namely its aesthetic. This is a game which, consciously or not, resembles a playable version of Regen, a film by Dutch filmmakers Manus Franken and Joris Evans about an autumnal rain in Amsterdam that precipitated the influential City Symphony movement. The City Symphony is essentially an urban documentary without stars, characters, or plot. It borrows its structure from the movements and motifs of orchestral symphonies, rather than the dynamics of narrative pacing. It can either celebrate the splendours of modernity, or castigate the decadence of urban life. At their most avant-garde, City Symphonies exemplify pure cinema, movement and abstraction animated by the camera alone. At their most documentary, they acted as the precursor to slow cinema, minimalist in style, meticulous in observation. More than a travelogue, they made the metropolis, urban modernity, and big city life their subjects, protagonists even, and there are hints of this in Rain when your character is alone and invisible on screen, leaving just an empty street on view. Produced between the world wars, City Symphonies portrayed a highly fragmented, kaleidoscopic sense of modern life, one whose interest only grows as time goes on, rising above their initial status as breathtaking, avant-garde experiments to the level of vitally important cultural documents. Like Regen, and other city symphonies before it, Regen consists of separate shots of urban spaces and loose impressions of city life, often resulting in surprising contrasts, as well as in micro-narratives or symbolic combinations that evoke a cross-section of metropolitan modernity. Hence chapters like The Night Circus, The Two in the Town, and The Children of the Night, which evoke an urban realm constituted by disjointed fragments. Indeed, The Night Circus, attractive not just for its colour and drama but for the melancholy and alienation it represents, best encapsulates the game's general vibe. As the most popular form of entertainment before the advent of cinema, the circus in Regen is haunting for its conspicuous lack of punters. Like the rain, it's constantly changing, out of necessity to attract audiences. That sense of modern momentum and need for change and innovation, of being on the edge and being up to date, not only coheres well with the game's pluvial themes, but also the medium of gaming itself, conscious of its own modernity. Gaming Esperanto is the best way I can describe Regen. Like its inspiration from Journey and Eco to City Symphonies, Regen offers an international language of images and interactions that transcend boundaries of nationality, language, and class. It translates the power of music, specifically the cut-glass elegance of Debussy's Clair de Lune, into the interactive medium, and turns it into something as communal as the rain. The same rain falls on everyone, the same time goes by for everyone, and everyone plays the same game. The human body, anonymized by the silhouette, becomes the focal point, unifying all the players. The perception of gaming's international language, typified by Regen's forebear, Journey, derived from the idea that all players, whoever and wherever they are, share the same capabilities for experiencing and sensing. In Journey, this was more overt. Strangers playing at the same time found themselves crossing each other's paths virtually, as the game paired them quietly and anonymously. Here, however, it's more symbolic. We long for rain when we've gone without. Rain is bliss when topsoil is turned to dust, when famine spreads through North Africa, when bushfires have incinerated Australia. Drought brings death in slow motion, but too much rain for too long settles with grim darkness, mould, rot, and floodwaters that never seem to drain. Humankind's survival, again, hangs in delicate balance against the rain, making a game where it can be enjoyed vicariously without its attendant aches and pains something of a convalescent treat. So, if you're going through a bit of a dry spell when it comes to gaming, I hope you'll give Regen a go, or save it for a rainy day. Either way, don't miss out on this forgotten gem, and share your experiences in the comments below.